Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
All of our guests today, including Craig Button, standing by in Switzerland, brought to you by our title sponsor, Able Auctions, ableauctions.ca. Under 18 Worlds going on in Switzerland. Canada plays the Swiss in a semifinal on Thursday. Joining us now from Europe, TSN Scouting Director Craig Button. Craig, thanks for doing this. How are you?
I am great, Donnie and Rick. Hope you're doing well also.
Yeah. Hey, Craig, what should we expect from a Canadian team in that semifinal that started this tournament getting crushed 8-0 by Sweden?
Yeah, I'd like to tell you it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And, the game got away from Canada real quick against Sweden. But since that point in time, a very talented group of players, a group that has 9 returning players from the Helenka Gretzky tournament last summer where they won gold. And I felt coming into this tournament, knowing what their talent level was, that they had a chance to compete for gold. And I don't think there's any question that they have shown that in the 3 games after the first loss to Sweden. And they're going to play Switzerland in the quarterfinal. Switzerland has no chance. It's not even a fair fight. It's not even a fair fight. Switzerland got walloped by the USA 10-0. In their last group play. They're not on the same level. But, getting through Switzerland now allows them to get ready for a real challenging semifinal. And if everything goes according to the seeding, Canada will play the U.S. In a semifinal, barring no upsets. And I think that Canada can beat the U.S. The U.S. and Sweden seem to be just those teams that right now are just a little cut above, but not a far cut above. And I think Canada has acquitted themselves, and we'll be right in the mix beginning on Saturday when the semifinal begins.
We talked last week going into the tournament about Macklin Celebrini, who obviously has ties to this part of the world. Maybe you could give us a comment on how he's played. And also another kid who's from Victoria. I believe he got a big goal the other night from the Vancouver Giants, Ty Haliburton.
Well, how about if I start with Ty? Let me start with Ty. Ty plays for the Vancouver Giants. He's really fit in nicely here. I mean, Mike Dick is such a good coach with the Vancouver Giants, and you can see all the good habits and all the good details in Ty's game. But talking to Jeff Truitt just feels that when Ty gets out on the ice, there's going to be no disadvantages for him or for the team. He's smart. He skates well. He's not one of those players that's going to be putting up gaudy offensive numbers, but there's different parts of the game that require players like Ty, and Ty, fits those needs, fits those areas, and he's been very, very good for Team Canada here. I don't know what to say about Macklin Celebrini. I compare his style of game to Jonathan Toews. When you think about how Jonathan plays, that's Macklin to me. Macklin's been great here. Macklin plays in every single situation. Power play, penalty kill, top line. Jeff Truitt took his lines after the first game and, moved some players around. Matthew Wood from Nanaimo, who had a hat trick in the game versus Czechia, and Callum Ritchie on his right side. They have been fantastic, but Macklin is just so thorough and so complete in his game and highly, highly skilled. And, you just continue to watch him play. He's had 7 assists in the last 3 games, got the winning goal against Slovakia. It's not just how he plays the game and the style of player he is. He's a significant contributor. And to think he's only 16 years old, very, very impressive.
Craig, let's talk a little bit about the NHL playoffs. The Maple Leafs up on the Lightning now. They've been up like this before, okay? Do you see anything different in this team where you say to yourself, this is a different team, they're going to close it out?
Yeah, I definitely see them as a different team. And I also see the Tampa Bay Lightning, Rick, as a different team. The
Yeah.
Tampa Bay Lightning are a weaker team. I mean, you just can't continue to go through the loss of such key players, on the blue line in McDonough and Ruta. We go through Gord and Coleman and Goodrow. I mean, you're just not going to be as strong. I think they've done a really fantastic job of retooling and trying to add players, but specifically on the blue line this year, losing McDonough and Ruta, I think has really weakened them. Obviously, Hedman gets hurt and he becomes unavailable. Chernik gets hurt on the hit by Bunting. He becomes unavailable. And I just think it's too much for the Tampa Bay Lightning to overcome against a much stronger Toronto Maple Leafs team. So I felt going into the playoffs that Toronto had the edge on Tampa Bay, and certainly after that first game loss that wasn't very pretty, they have really shown. Now, what I will say in this regard, Rick, they're a team that has to continue to show me that they're not going to play fast and loose with the details.
Yeah.
You fall behind 4-1 against Tampa Bay Lightning in a game where you can go up 3-1. Don't think that's going to work for you every time. In fact, as the competition in the playoffs gets harder, it's not. But an opportunity in Game 5 to close it out, and I think they will, because I just think that Tampa Bay really right now with the losses they've had. Some of the injuries, players are clearly not anywhere near 100%. They may very well be running on fumes. So I see the Leafs closing it out on Thursday.
Craig, Seattle, 2-2 Colorado. The Kraken have been giving the Avalanche fits a whole series long. How impressed are you with Seattle?
Big time, and watching those games. One of the things that I think we all knew coming into this series is that Seattle can skate, and Seattle's fast and quick. Now you start to look at the goaltending, the blue line, the forward group. I don't think anybody would say that Seattle had an edge there. But it's not just about where you look at specific areas. It's how you play as a team. And I think that they've been tenacious. I think that they throw four lines at you that can really create a lot of challenges for an opponent. And, certainly we know that Rantanen and McKinnon and those guys are going to be there. But for the Seattle Kraken, when you have that speed and you have it right through your lineup and it can be disruptive and it can be a catalyst for a lot of good things. I mean, you think about the winning goal against Colorado in Game 4. I mean, first of all, it comes off of a penalty, where you're challenging Josh Manson, where you put him in a tough spot, tripping, boom, out on the ice, game over. So I think that Colorado, right now is still the better team, but Seattle now, having won Game 1 in Denver, winning that game in overtime, I think they're full of confidence. And sometimes those become real hard teams to play against because not a lot is expected of them, and they have nothing to lose. And Colorado has everything to lose. If you're Dave Haxtell, get right after the Avalanche and put them right on their heels right from the beginning of Game 5 and see how they respond. And more importantly, make them uncomfortable.
And finally, Craig, home base for you isn't Switzerland. It's Calgary. The Flames are getting themselves a new building. I should say the city of Calgary is getting itself a new building. What is that going to do for the city and the hockey club?
Well, I mean, obviously you get a new building. I mean, this was a situation that had, seemed to be completed, and then it hit the skids, and now it's back there. Calgary, like any team in the NHL, wants modern facilities, not just for the suites, but for their players, and you also want a venue that can attract other concerts and other events. And the Saddle Dome was clearly falling behind in those areas. So when you talk about the Flames and their opportunity, you talk about the city of Calgary to have lots of great events come into a new building. It's tremendous, and everybody wants something that's new and something that's modern. And the Calgary Flames now become the latest team, and the city of Calgary becomes the latest city to get some of those. Some of the benefits of having a brand new building.
Okay, Craig, thanks for this. You're in Switzerland, and the next time you're in an exotic location, can you do better with the backdrop there? We expected you to be, on a mountain in the Alps or something like that versus a generic hotel room wall.
I'm sorry, but I was in the Alps today. We were in Davos. And I'll send you pictures after this. They're fantastic. And I really wish I could have, but the gondola wasn't working. It's closed until the end of June. The winter season's over and the gondola's, because that's exactly what I was going to do. I was going to sit right up there and
Perfect.
come to you live.
What you said made up for how your background looks. How about that? Thanks for this,
Okay,
Craig.
wait till you see the pictures.
Okay. Yeah, we'll hold you to that. Thanks, Craig. Appreciate it as always.
See ya.